Since starting dry needling, for the first time in a decade, I haven't had a single flare-up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Hutchison, and today Isabella has joined me and offered to share part of her life story. And Isabella, just tell what I already know, but if you will share with the audience a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I'm Isabella, and I grew up with chronic pain, which is something that I've been dealing with for almost over a decade now, so most of my life. And it's something that I would like to share about.
Okay, so Isabella, you're now 19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 19 years old, and you're in your first year of college, and you're thriving and you're doing great.
Yeah,
But we were a little nervous that this year was going to go as well as it was.
yeah.
And if we step back to, as you said, for over 10 years, you've been in chronic pain. And tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, so when I was 9, I was diagnosed with Ehlers Danlos syndrome after seeing dozens of doctors and to try to address my chronic pain and figure out the root cause of it. But after being diagnosed, we tried out so many different treatments and went to so many different doctors and really couldn't find any relief to my symptoms other than masking the symptom, which didn't heal me. It just addressed the surface of the issue and not the root.
Yeah.
And then years and years went by, and I was dealing with a lot of chronic pain and experiencing a lot of mobility issues, which became especially hard as I started getting older, because there were things that I was still really struggling with, like tying my shoes or going to school. I started going to school part-time and doing virtual school because of my chronic pain. Driving was nearly impossible for me because I would get so dizzy and be in so much pain, and I would have flare-ups pretty often. But then I found Dr. Hutchison, and he diagnosed me with cervical instability. And after receiving this diagnosis, it was very different than receiving my Ehlers Danlos diagnosis, because instead of trying to address the symptom, we started to address the root cause of the issue. And he started treating me with dry needling. And last year, I was in a particularly rough flare-up to the point where we weren't sure if I was going to start college, because I was in so much pain that I could barely get off the couch or walk to my mailbox without needing to hold someone's arm. And so we thought that I wouldn't be able to live independently of my parents. But then I saw Dr. Hutchison, and he treated me with dry needling. And that day I was in less pain than I'd been in a very, very long time. And ever since then, I've been coming back to Dr. Hutchison for more dry needling, and every time I experience more healing and more growth. And I'm still having pain every once in a while, but it's not a day-to-day thing that holds me back in life, because I'm doing so much more than I've ever been doing. I'm driving, I'm going to college full-time, I'm working, I'm involved in social activities, and I'm just able to do so much that I'd like to do without feeling like I'm held back because of my diagnoses. And I'm just really grateful for this treatment and for Dr. Hutchison.
Wow, that's amazing. That is just absolute amazing testimony, and I am just delighted to be able to witness you giving back to all these things that you love. And you just drove here to my office for 3 hours, for 4 hours straight, through the beginning of rush hour, from Orlando all the way down to Fort Myers, without any breaks.
Right.
I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, before I couldn't drive for more than 5 minutes at a time, maybe every 3 days, because I'd have pain the next few days, and now I can just do it, and I'm okay. Yeah.
It's incredible. And when we diagnosed you with the cervical instability, I mean, it wasn't like you had a little bit. I mean, it was like C1 and C2 were really moving excessively. And it's just an incredible testimony, because even with 10 years of chronic pain, that given the fact that, you know, you are still young and otherwise, you know, very healthy, is that you don't always have to 100% eliminate one of the findings. You know, if we can get your body functioning well, and I think also it's important just to share that I think that we've only done dry needling, how many times?
Maybe
About
5
times, you know? So, and over what, the last 10 months, probably 5 times over about approximately 10 months. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't even feel like I have really anything to add here. I just think that it's, you know, I'm amazed by Isabella's resilience through her chronic illness of the last 10 years. The first time that I ever had the chance to meet you and your mother and your sister came with you, I mean, I was just immediately at ease by the presence of the three of you. You're so kind and so loving, and you're so good-natured, and you're smiling, and I'm just delighted that I got to be part of your journey towards recovery and getting better. So
thank you.
Yeah.
It means a lot, especially like not only you as like a doctor, but as a person. Like, you can tell when a doctor cares about your treatment and cares about you as a person, and there's a difference, and I really see that in you, and that you care about your patients, and I'm really appreciative.
Thank you so much, Isabella. So this summer, now after almost being through your entire first year of college, and you've joined clubs, you've been asked to join as a leader in some of the roles, you're excelling in school, and you're going to be headed off to really an amazing job in the mountains to teach camp. And so this is incredible, and I'm excited to continue to follow you on your life journey of continued health, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Hopefully it touches the life of somebody that may be dealing with chronic illness and potentially hasn't looked at structure as a cause. So we just, you know, Isabella also shared that, you know, she was getting different diagnoses of certain kind of a bone lesion, and it was non-bacterial inflammation, and it just kept coming back, and it was really annoying and painful. And since we started to strengthen her neck, it's all but disappeared.
Yeah, I'd like to say that for a decade I've had flare-ups every few months or so that would last 8 weeks, and I would sleep 2 hours a night and miss 3 weeks of school. And since starting dry needling for the first time in a decade, I haven't had a single flare-up, and I just feel so sure that like a flare-up's not around the corner, you know? Like, I feel so strong, and it's really cool.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Isabella.
Thank you.